Good evening, everyone. We'll call the meeting to order. Joy, would you please call the roll?
Flournoy.
Here.
Hallie.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Revelinsky.
Yes.
Rasmussen.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Hamilton.
Here.
Okay, thank you. Council, any additions or changes to this evening's agenda?
Under committee reports, can I talk about a proposal that I'll be bringing to the next council meeting?
Okay. Any other changes, Council? If not, we'll move to our consent agenda. We have approval of minutes from the July 25th council meeting. We have approval of payroll for $100,367.36. We have a resolution of employment in the fire department for part-time firefighter Ryan Hothus. And we have approval of liquor licenses for Casey's General Store number 3327 and the Hideaway. And claims in the amount of $265,066.84. Any questions, council, on these consent agenda items? Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Moved by Anderson.
Second.
Second by Flournoy. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. So, thank you. Yes, we'll move to our public appearances. Is Jean or Jean Vanderbroek here? Yes, Jean. Yes, come up to the podium, please. Thank you.
I've never done this before.
It's pretty casual. Just tell us who you are, where you live, and what your concern is.
Okay. I'm Jean Vanderbroek. I live at 404 West Broadway here in Fairfield. And what I'm wanting is sidewalks from the Pizza Ranch all the way straight up to Walmart, both sides, and on Jefferson, because there's no sidewalks. I had a hip replacement, and I sold my car, because if you have a low car, you can't sit in there. Why spend the money on insurance? So I'm walking, and I walk 12 miles. I want safety. So, when I was walking toward the community first, there is a cemetery there along that, okay? And the grass is this tall, they don't even mow. So, of course, there was a car about ready to hit me, so I jumped the curb a little bit. There I had 2 snakes wrapped around my legs, and you don't think that didn't scare the shit out of me. But I was lucky to have this thing, so I put it in between my legs, and I gave it a heave, and I didn't care if it landed on a car, okay. I don't care, but it didn't. I went it that way. So, now, this morning, I went on that street too. Met 3 people coming this way. I was going that way. I said, we really need sidewalks, don't we? And he said, boy, we really do. This bicycle trail, they should knock that out. Or if they want to keep it fine, then put the sidewalk. Have every business put a sidewalk. It's not that hard of work. If Come and Go has a sidewalk, make the rest of them do it. I have to have a sidewalk at 404 West Broadway, and I pay taxes. Now, that's my story.
Okay, thank you very much. It's a compelling story, a harrowing story. Wow. And we are aware that that stretch is a dangerous stretch.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and does need to have good pedestrian walkways. So
We really need it, so I would appreciate it.
yes. Mike, is there any update on anything? I know on the south side, in front of Burger King and Hy-Vee Gas, that there was some talk about a stretch there where we might be implementing something. Is there any news on that? Or public safety, is there anything that's been discussed?
Thank you, Mayor. As of right now, we were presented by the study that was conducted by a group of students from MUM that also recommended sidewalk along Burlington and Jefferson, because we know that there are a lot of pedestrian traffic that takes place along those roads. One of the challenges along Burlington is right-of-way. When you look at some of the obstructions, such as electrical poles and things, within the right-of-way space that we have, that can be a challenge. Not insurmountable, but certainly a challenge. The other challenge, of course, is funding. Where do we get the funding for that distance of sidewalk? But it's certainly something that we can take a look at, Mayor, and identify possible funding sources and make a plan to react accordingly.
I mean, I think our conversation about that particular area goes way back. It goes back about 10 years when we first started discussing it, and we, went into our 5 wards with the sidewalk inspection, and we talked about those gaps within the community where there aren't built sidewalks that are connected to properties that do have sidewalks, and that area in particular is quite dangerous. And
Yes.
I think it is something that we should renew and look and see if we can add that to some other borrowing that we're doing to potentially get something like that done along with some street work. But I would suggest that we do take Gene's suggestion and really make that a priority.
I want to thank you to the fullest.
Good,
Well,
thank you. The other thing too is with the keeping up with people taking care of their weeds and their things like that is something that we're generally every summer what I'll do is a proclamation declaring Whack Your Weeds Month, and that's coming up later in the meeting. So it's always a good reminder, and Scott Vaughn, our code enforcement officer, does a lot of good work in the community, but hard to keep up, right, Scott? It is.
Mayor Scott has
Yeah.
some updates on the cemetery.
Okay, very good. Scott, do you have some updates on the cemetery that she was referring to?
In terms of your contact with the cemetery, Scott, some of the code enforcement issues that you've had and some of the progress that you've made with the cemetery?
Yeah, in the past year and a half, there's been multiple trees, dead trees.
Right.
That Memorial Lawn has taken care of. I think they've actually got a couple more now that we'll be addressing probably this fall, trying to get them to take care of those before winter hits. We have had some mowing issues with them, but they're under new management as of a couple years ago. You actually have to contact people down in St. Louis now.
Okay.
It's out of Atumwa, but the people we contact are out of St. Louis.
Okay.
So
Let's shock them, let's tell them about their snakes too, along with their weeds.
And if they don't get it clear, you know what, just bring the snakes right to them, right in their feet.
There you go.
Box them up and ship them steaks.
That'll get their attention. Thanks, Scott, I appreciate that.
Just to add to what Mike was saying, in that bike ped plan that I brought to you guys a couple months ago, both the Jefferson and the West Burlington additions were in there. Mike and I had looked at potential funding. There was a Wellmark grant, a larger one, for those kind of projects. Then you always have to find the match. There are some DOT grants, but those are also tricky. But in terms of Burlington, at some point when we need to repave that, those non-bike lane spaces could be narrowed. The whole road could be narrowed. The curbs could be moved closer together, which would make the right-of-way space larger, and then might be easier to put in official sidewalks at that time. But it's agreed, it's very dangerous out there, and it needs to be done. So it's in our planning, but of course, it's the funding that's the issue. So if you come across, hundreds of thousands, just send it our way, we'll be good to go.
You know how you can make a lot of money? I walk, and these people's houses that they do not take care of their property, you boost their property taxes up, and the ones that pay and they take care of things, bring theirs lower. That would make me happy.
Thank you very much, and we appreciate your community concern. Next, Council, we have a presentation by Thomas Ray Johnson about police operational concerns. Is Mr. Johnson here?
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I want to express the cops to be doing a better job. I joined the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints. They gave me about 4 or 5 people that I can be calling. When I call, the cops come in, you're not making this call. They admit it, they say we're the cops, you're not making this call. And I tried more than once, and they blocked the call. So that's one of the important
Okay, what were
things
you calling the police?
Pardon?
What was your concern with the police?
I want them to not to be coming in on the phone and blocking my calls.
Oh, I see. Okay.
To the church people.
Okay.
So that should be done.
Okay. Anything else, sir?
And also, about jail practices, when I was in, I had notes of foot levelers from a doctor, and also a special mouthpiece from a doctor. And I had written notes, and they ignored those and took them away, and I was on fire, because I need those things.
Okay.
So, and then I met a guy when I got out of jail that he had his prescription drugs taken away while he was in jail.
Okay.
So I think the city should have cameras and microphones and look over the police, because I wouldn't trust them. And trust them in there. I don't think that's done by the city. I think you trust the head of police, to be honest, but I wouldn't trust them. And just one more thing is, when I was out to Candace's property there, a couple of years ago, I believe, she was bypassing the meter and filling up her whole pond with city water. And I'm very positive on that, because I lived out there with in a tent at the time. And that's because, you use so much water, that should be checked on, and I wouldn't say have the police go there. I would have some private security go over there. And, they know you're coming, they might hook it up to the regular line, make it look like they're not, the line is not bypassed, and just go in there. Because that's a lot of water. If they're doing that, I've heard it was $1 million or something to drill it deeper. So if that water table goes down, it's going to be, everybody's going to be paying,
Yes, sir.
So you should find out the truth on that there.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We'll share your concerns with the jail and with the police, and we'll check our water meters closely.
Okay,
Thank you very much. Okay, next, council, we have resolutions and action items, and you'll see that we have final approvals all connected to the gym. So I'd like to ask Calvin if he wouldn't mind coming up and going over those with us, and then we'll take each one of them separately and approve those for this evening.
Okay, you want me to just go through and list them individually?
Yeah, go ahead, Calvin,
Okay.
please. Yeah.
First one we have here is the Brockway Mechanical and Roofing, and this is the roofing section of it, and it was $5,166. Next one is Mike Nelson Concrete and Paving, and that's $9,389, and that's all the sidewalks, the paint striping, and the new parking lot. Iowa Direct Equipment, which is $5,930, and that's all of the athletic equipment you see in the sportsplex, and then the netting as well. And then All Pro Electrical Technology, which is all the electrical stuff, that's $17,763.04.
Okay.
And then all of the projects have been approved by the project architect, project manager, and I don't really see any other reason why to hold these retainages.
Great, thank you. Mike, any comments?
Just a couple items. Thank you, Calvin. At this point, council, all punch list items have been completed for these particular contracts. And if we remember, we bid the rec center 12 individual contracts. And so see, there's a certain portions of that project that we're approving. We will not release their retainage for 31 days per Iowa state law. So we're simply approving the contracts as final tonight, or considering the contracts as final. We'll release the retainage 31 days after this action tonight.
And Mike, that means in case something would come up where we would change our mind, we could do that.
That's correct. This will in no way affect our warranty period. Our warranty period will still begin on the day of substantial completion for us. Off the top of my head, was March 16th, I believe, when we had our grand opening. So that is the time that our warranty period begins. So it in no way affects our warranty period. But yes, if there are additional items such as leaks or something that comes up, it does give us some leeway to withhold that retainage.
And Calvin, you've walked through all these and you're not having any problems with electrical or plumbing?
Nothing like that. I've actually met with Chris Smith. He's the project manager. I've met with him multiple times. We've gone over stuff, and we've actually had the paving company that was there too, and I've met them and talked to them and gone over everything too. So.
And your eyes on the project, it looks good?
Yes.
Okay.
Just curious, we do have a roofing package we're approving, but how did we hold up last Thursday when we got 3 inches of rain in an hour?
We actually held up really good. We did have, sorry, I should never left.
Yeah, that's okay.
We did have a couple of leaks on the west end, which were pretty significant, but those have all been fixed. And I was actually kind of hoping for some rain to see if we had any more rain coming out of that side over there. And they were there, I think, a week before that rainstorm, and they fixed that. We didn't have any water come in
Excellent.
over there at all. And they was there today and pulled some of the panels off the wall there where we could get to the insulation and feel the insulation to make sure it was dry, wasn't wet, so we don't have any molding issues like that. And I personally put my hand up there and felt the insulation, and it was dry.
Okay, great. Excellent, thank you.
Yep.
So council, we'll take each one of these individually. The first approval would be for the paving and surfacing, and this would be to finalize this contract. Entertain a motion to
Move to approve.
Second. Moved by Hallie, second by Flournoy. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same sign. Thank you. The next, council, would be the roofing and sheet metal contract as final.
So moved.
Moved by
Second.
Anderson, second by Revelinsky. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same sign. The third would be the gym equipment as final.
Move to approve.
Moved by Rasmussen.
Follow
Second by
in line,
Thompson.
second, yeah, going down the line.
Darren,
I don't know how you're gonna handle
You're
it.
up.
It's Sorry, Derek.
Drops off this end here.
So the final contract for the Cambridge Sportplex will be number 12, electrical as final.
Move to approve.
Moved by Hamilton,
Second.
second by Hallie. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same sign. Okay.
We didn't vote on number 3?
We didn't vote on three,
Third
okay.
one.
Yeah.
Let's, we have a motion and a second for the gym equipment. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same sign. Thank you. Next, council, I have 2 members to put before you for appointment to the Park and Recreation Advisory Board, and this one would be filling one of the new positions. As you recall, we're going from 5 to 7, and then one to replace retiring Terry Delker, and I'm proposing Ken Daly, who is the Recreation Director at MUM, was very involved in the Blue Zone Project, the Jefferson County Tobacco Coalition, and big supporter of recreation athletics in Fairfield. And the other is Roland Hecker, who's been very involved with the organizers of the Fairfield Soccer Association. So I'd like to nominate those 2 gentlemen for appointment to the Park and Recreation
Move to
Advisory
approve.
Board.
Second.
Moved by Hallie, second by Revelinsky. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same sign. I guess you recall that when we had the issue come up before the Board of Adjustment regarding property on South Main that had put a lot of investment into a home to position it to be almost a full-time bed and breakfast using Airbnb as the main means of marketing and promoting this property. And I think it raised the issue about community preparedness for a very popular mode of tourist stays and tourist bed and breakfast stays within communities. So we wanted to take a look at this in our community and make some recommendations to the council and to the Board of Adjustment should these things come up in the future. Going on the Airbnb site, you'll find 40 properties that are listed in Fairfield, and we don't really know too much about them. We don't know how much usage they're having, all of those kinds of things. But obviously, this is something I think that is going to come up. I think there are cities around the country that are facing this at this point. So we're going to put together a group of citizens who are interested in researching this on behalf of the community and bringing back a picture to us and possibly some recommendations that then we can pass along to the Board of Adjustment by way of policy for governing these particular areas. I did ask that one council member be a part of this committee, and Martha has agreed to do that. So Martha Rasmussen would be representing the city. The four individuals that I'd like to recommend would be Sherry Kluender, who is president of the CVB board, Ted Berghoff, who has been doing some research about ordinances around the country and has been in direct contact with Airbnb, Tammy Dunbar from the real estate community, and Ron Mullen. So I would ask for your approval of those four individuals to join Martha in researching this, and something that we'll have a meeting and discuss some of the parameters of what the committee will do and what they will try to accomplish and bring back. I would say hopefully something like this could be completed in maybe 60 to 90 days. So anyway, I'd entertain your approval of those four individuals that were named.
So moved.
Moved by Thompson.
Second.
Second by Hamilton. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same sign. And then finally, it's customarily that we do like to ask and remind people to look more closely at their yards and sidewalks and businesses for the weeds. We've gotten some great rains in the last 30 days, and the weed growth has been prolific. So we declare this month Weed Whacking Month. So we'll encourage everyone to get out. It's traditional, Katie. So I do have a proclamation. I'm afraid I left it back on my desk, but I would entertain your approval for the proclamation to take care of weeds. No?
Move to approve.
Moved by Hamilton.
Whack your weeds.
Whack your weeds week. What month? Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Rasmussen. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same sign? Okay. That's all I had, Council. We'll move to our committee reports, Ways and Means.
The Ways and Means met with Rustin Lippincott from the convention center last, I think it was Thursday, if I remember right. It was basically at this point just an update on their financial conditions, some of the things that they know are coming up. They have some maintenance issues. And again, from a city standpoint, it was more or less just an information meeting to give us an update as to what they propose, what they see coming down the road at this point. I don't know, Doug, Michael, do you have anything else to add to that?
No, I think it was a good update, and I think we're committed to maintaining the integrity of that building according to our agreement that we have with the convention center. So we reaffirm that.
Great, thanks, Tom. Public safety and transportation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We met immediately preceding this the City Council meeting this evening. We had two items on our agenda. One was an urban deer management, and the other was parking and right-of-ways. The committee discussed both items in detail, at large, and we think they both have merit. We think they are both huge tasks to bite off, and we're going to meet again about both of these and try to tactfully and in the best interest of everybody involved address both issues for the city of Fairfield.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jane. Councilman Halley.
All right, now that we've passed the outdoor dining ordinance for the businesses around the square, I'll be bringing a proposal for, I just call it outdoor seating on Central Park at our next meeting, and I wanted to give the public and the council heads up before that time. So I'll be calling Pauline Reeder between now and then, inviting her back, because when she spoke before, she was responding to a vision, and now we have a proposal, and they're very different. And so I wanted her input on the proposal rather than the vision. So I'll have that ready next meeting.
Okay, thank you. Mike, anything from your side?
Just one quick follow-up item, Mayor. I wanted to discuss our bid package number 12. That is for the bid package number 11, that is for the plumbing and HVAC at the rec center, and the leaks that we're currently experiencing are associated with that bid package. That's why we're comfortable recommending the retainage be released on the roofing. That is not causing our leak issues at the rec center. So we are still holding retainage for the issues that are causing the leaks. I just wanted to make that clear for the council. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Well, if there isn't any other business for the council, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Moved by Hamilton, second by Revelinsky. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Meeting adjourned.